news now. 4 million children in the United States participate in activities offered by the Boys and Girls Clubs. For 150 years, the agency has made its mission to serve children who need guidance and nurturing. WXVT's Renae Skinner is live at the Boys and Girls Club of Washington County, where there's an open house tonight. Renae?
Steve, there's been a lot of activity tonight, and it all surrounds getting an education, promoting an education among our youth. All week long, the Boys and Girls Club of Washington County is hosting an open house night, and it's really a chance for residents to come out and get a glimpse of all the good work the agency does. The theme, again, of the open house night is spreading the importance of getting an education and doing your homework, telling our kids to stay on top and do their homework. And it's a very important theme because 1 in 5 kids won't graduate on time. That's according to the United States Department of Education, and the state of Mississippi is facing a 17% high school dropout rate, and in some areas that dropout rate is as high as 35%. So again, this theme is very important. The Boys and Girls Club has become instrumental in promoting education and career programs to help strike down these percentages and to help our youth aspire for careers in their future. Joining me live to talk more about how important this agency is to the Delta is Miss Brenda Gales. Hi, how are you doing tonight? Good. I'm so glad you got a chance to cut out from all the busyness and join me to talk more about how important this community, this agency, I should say, is to this community. Miss Brenda, I understand you are a teacher. So from a teacher standpoint, how important is the Boys and Girls Club to this community?
Okay, the Boys and Girls Club is very important because the children have somewhere to go in the afternoon. And while I've been working here for like 3 years in the after-school program and during the summer, and Ms. Rowe has been very good at helping the children, you know, have a place to go, different activities. We go on trips and everything, and she's a very positive person. And so the Boys and Girls Club is a very positive place for the children to come.
Okay, a positive place. So tell me about the 21st Century program that you are involved in here at the Boys and Girls Club. Tell me about it and what your work consists of in that program.
Okay, we help with tutoring, academics, and literacy. And also the kids, the first thing they do when they come, they do their homework. And we help with their homework, and once they finish that, then we break out into some different activities. And basically, we're concerned about the reading. And we focus 20 minutes every day on reading.
Wow. And that's awesome because I understand there's this law that says for 3rd graders, you have to read at a certain level or you won't get promoted to the 4th grade. So that's very important that you take part in that reading segment. Talk to me about the feedback you get from kids who take part in this program. Are they more anxious to learn, to read?
Well, coming to the Boys and Girls Club, they be ready. They get off the bus. They're eager to come, and I think this is a place they really want to be here, and they like the activities that we do, and they participate very well.
Okay, good deal. Thanks so much for joining me. We're going to wrap things up, but we'll be back later on in our show. I'll have another guest to talk about the importance of the Boys and Girls Club in Washington County. Again, they are hosting an open house event, and residents who want to see more, want to learn more about the Boys and Girls Club of Washington County can come on out and get that information they need. Reporting live in Greenville, I'm Renae Skinner. We'll be back right after this commercial break. 1 in 5 children live in poverty in the United States. 3 out of 10 are obese, and Mississippi's high school dropout rate is 17%, and in some areas that number is even higher. Good evening, I'm Renae Skinner. The Washington County Boys and Girls Club is helping kids conquer these challenges each day. That's where I'm at right now. They are hosting an open house event. It's really a chance for community residents to get a glimpse of all the good work the organization does for the community. Coming up on your Delta News at 6, you'll hear from a volunteer. You'll also hear from an alumni graduate, a woman who graduated from this program, and she'll tell us how the Boys and Girls Club of Washington County has affected her life. We'll have more on that coming up. Steve, back to you in the studio.
Thanks so much, Renee. Coming up on your Delta News at 6, a Las Vegas man on the run after allegedly killing 2 people.
Delta News at 6 starts now.
Renee is live at the Boys and Girls Club of Washington County, where there's an open house. Renee?
Steve, a lot of activity going on behind me. I'm at the Boys and Girls Club of Washington County, where all week long the club is hosting an open house event, and it's really a chance for area residents to come out and see all the valuable programs and events this agency has to offer. The theme of the open house event is spreading the importance of getting an education among kids. All week long they've had special guests come out, from the Mayor John Cox to GPSD Representative Everett Chin, to just promote education. It's a very important theme because 1 in 5 kids won't graduate on time. There's also a statistic out there that I mentioned before. The state of Mississippi is facing a 17% high school dropout rate, and in some areas that percentage is as high as 35%. So this theme is very important. The Boys and Girls Club has become very instrumental in promoting education and career programs to help strike down those percentages and to help our youth aspire for careers in their future. And joining me live to talk more about the importance of the Boys and Girls Club of Washington County is Jewel Lockhart. He is a board member of the Boys and Girls Club. Thanks so much for joining me tonight.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And it's so good to have you. Mr. Lockhart, will you first talk about how important you serving as a leader in this agency, how important is the Boys and Girls Club of Washington County?
Well, I guess to show you, I've been here over 20 years, heading for 30 years on the board, so that's an indication of my interest in the Boys and Girls Club and the activities that go on here and the things that they are promoting. And I know education is one of them, and so we are really stressing that and helping all we can as a board to make sure that they are aware of the awareness of good education and that they will continue in school.
Right. And that's a wonderful point. I also want to ask, what's the response you've gotten from, have you seen kids come through this program and have they graduated or just participated, coming out more eager to learn? What's the response been?
I think it's mixed, but I think overall it's on the positive side. We have had some that come on, they are teachers, they are chiropractors, they're doctors, and so we think that they hear what we're saying and doing what they think they should do, and we're going to continue to encourage that.
Okay, good deal. My last question is, I was reading a couple of statistics about the high school dropout rate. It's gone down in Mississippi, it's gone down all across the U.S., but it's still a pretty big issue that educators and students and teachers deal with all across the United States as a whole. How important is it that the Boys and Girls Club incorporate education into everyday activities?
I think it's very, very important, and I know that Mrs. Rowe has worked and still working with people coming in, doing some mentoring type of programs and other activities to help to strengthen the children, to encourage them, and maybe areas where they may be a little bit weak, that they would receive some help to encourage them to continue to go on.
Last question, any goals that you have for the Boys and Girls Club of Washington County?
Yes, we have some goals, just to not out of money.
Okay, that's a good goal to have. All right, we're going to wrap things up. Thanks so much, Mr. Lockhart, for joining me. There you have it, Steve. You just heard from a board member who talked about the importance of this agency and all the good work it does in the Delta. We'll have one more guest coming up. I'll talk to a woman who graduated. She is an alumni of the Boys and Girls Club of Washington County. She grew up right across the street, so we'll talk to her about her experience in the club, and I'll send it right back to you in the studio. Reporting live in Greenville, I'm Renae Skinner. Steve, back to you. I'm here live at the Boys and Girls Club of Washington County, where kids have just boarded on the buses. They've had a night full of fun events and activities to get their hands on. But joining me live right now is Miss Jaleesa Kennedy. She is an alumni member of the Boys and Girls Club of Washington County. She's here to talk about the importance of this agency and how it has affected her life as well. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome.
Well, let's begin. Let's talk about your experience at the Boys and Girls Club of Washington County. What was that like?
My experience was awesome here at the Boys and Girls Club, Washington County. I actually started the Boys and Girls Club at a very young age. I was roughly about 6 years old. I can remember here when I actually wasn't old enough to come to the Boys and Girls Club. I actually came by every day and just peeking in the window like on the bars, wishing I was
Trying to look through and see what's going on.
Yes, ma'am. And once I got old enough to become a member of the Boys and Girls Club, I had an unexplainable time here. While at the Boys and Girls Club, I learned many, many things, such as morals, values, tutoring. The Boys and Girls Club helped me in so many ways. It kept me off the streets. I could have been at the park, which is kind of dangerous sometimes, and I was actually here in where it was love, peace.
Just a good environment.
Yes, a great environment.
Okay, well, talk to me about the events going on today. As I pulled up, I noticed kids marching down the street. They were saying lights on after school. What was that all about?
All right, Lights On After School is just a program. Well, it's not a program. It's
is it an event? Is it promoting after-school activities?
Yes, ma'am. It's promote after-school activities, and it's also letting the community know that education continues after school hours. And here at the Boys and Girls Club, we are constantly in almost all the time focusing on education.
Right. So last question, speaking of education, what's it like to have come through this program and now you're reaching back, paying it forward, helping other kids make it through this program and just become better people, grow up in a good environment? What's that like?
It makes me feel very proud because I can instill all of the good things that was instilled in me. I can pass that on to our youth and make them become and help mold them to become a prosperous and adults in the community as well as in life.
That's so good. Thank you so much for joining me. And again, you heard it from an alumni member who went through the Boys and Girls Club of Washington County. She says the agency positively affected her life as a child, and so they're continuing to do their work in this community by guiding kids. So that's just a positive thing going on here. Definitely. So that's all we have for tonight. But again, there was an open house event that went on that promoted getting an education among our youth, among the children that participated in this event. We'll have more on that coming up tonight at 10. Reporting live in Washington County, I'm Renae Skinner. We'll be back after the commercial break.